Did you hear me? Yes. Is my English okay? Yes. Because I'm beginning to wonder.
CO2 and fossil fuels are having on the environment. They've denied their involvement, they have lobbied against any renewables being brought into play, and they are killing the planet. They are stealing the future, literally, from our children.
Extinction! Rebellion! I come from Sweden, and back there is almost the same problem as here, as everywhere. That nothing is being done to stop the climate and ecological crisis.
I have heard that there were 6,000 people did the protest in November. I've heard someone saying there would be 10,000 people here in London for this protest.
We are now facing an existential crisis, the climate crisis and ecological crisis, which have never been treated as crisis before. They have been ignored for decades.
The climate has not yet caught up with what we've done to it. So we expect to see greater warming in the future because of the carbon dioxide that we've already put into the atmosphere.
We cannot any longer sit down and take this. We must hold companies like Shell accountable for their actions. We are Extinction Rebellion, and we are doing this on behalf of Stop the Ecocide now.
Prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, wise and true.
Not great. I mean, Theresa May wasn't there at the discussion with Greta Thunberg, which doesn't really fill me with much hope. I don't really understand how you could ignore something this big. I don't understand how any politician can ignore something.
Last time, please prepare me.
If we don't do something very, very quickly, something will happen to us. It's happening already in other parts of the world. Now, people in Mozambique are struggling and suffering with this actual action already. Climate change isn't for the future. It's just not just about the future. It's about now. It's about the rest of the world. It's about here. And it's going to be something that we need to do something about. And this is why we're all making action.
Sanctuary for you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the tradition of Islam, you are invited to kiss the ground and lay your forehead upon it.
My name's Ro. I'm a trained nurse, and during the week I've been listening to what's been going on, and I thought I'm going to come up here and see for myself and learn. There's been a lot of opinion on social media that what people are doing here is wrong, that it's disruptive, but the agenda of the sixth max extinction is so huge, I'm not sure what else can be done. So I'm here to find out and to lend whatever support I can.
the science has been clear for a really long time. And it's not just some scientists, it's almost all scientists are saying similar or the same things about the state of our planet. So that's us, but that's all the people here, that's everybody. Whether you agree with us or not, it's our planet that we all share.
People say that there's nothing that they can do, we don't have the power. This is the last thing that we can do, is to actually putting your body on the line. Having physically being there is your vote. Having to voice your concerns to everyone and letting the awareness, it's just putting yourself on the line.
And for way too long, the politicians and the people in power have gotten away with not doing anything at all to fight the climate crisis and the ecological crisis. But we will make sure that they will not get away with it any longer.
We're asking the government and the media to tell the truth about the climate crisis and to act as if it is the truth. We're asking to reduce net carbon emissions to zero in the UK by 2025 and also to halt biodiversity, such as we won't have any food if we don't have insects to pollinate the grains. And finally, to do all this work by citizens' assembly, which is an alternative form of democracy to parliamentary democracy, where they just shout from one side, a shout from the other side, nobody listens. So in citizens' assembly, everybody listens, from even the people shouting over here and the people shouting over here. They all are brought in and they understand that their needs matter. And so by that process, which is very efficient at coming to a good decision and a creative decision, it's a completely different way of doing things, and that's what we call, that's our third call.
به موقع به نظر من این جنبش به وجود اومد. این اعتراضات به نام شورش برای زندگی و نجات زندگی، آره، و به موقع دارن هشدار میدن که اگر ما تا 10 سال آینده ما کار جدی تو این رابطه نکنیم، در واقع خیلی جبران ناپذیر میشه وضع و حتی این ساختار جامعی معمولی هم که داریم این هم میتونه به هم بخوره.
قبلا میگفتن طبقه مرفه متوسط که هیچ دغدغه‌ای ندارن میان و فعالیت‌های محیط زیستی میکنن، میگن ما رو اصلا حرف دانشمندان رو گوش بدید. ما حرف دانشمندان رو گوش میدید که 2 درجه هوا گرم، کل هوا زمین گرم شده، یخ‌های قطبی آب شده و لایه اوزون داره بیشتر سوراخ میشه و فجایعی که دیگه میبینیم، طوفان و سیل و این بلایای به اصطلاح طبیعی، خب بخشن طبیعیه زلزله، ولی خب طوفان و سیلی که تو ایران اومده بخش زیادیش تأثیرش همین تغییرات اقلیمی و همین نابودی محیط زیسته و این جنبش میخواد جلوی اینو بگیره. به همچنان که از اسمش پیداش انقراض، شورش برای انقراض که جلوی انقراض نابودی کره زمین رو بگیرن و میگن ما واسه بچه اون پلیس هم که ما رو در 1100 نفر رو دستگیر کرده، واسه بچه اونم داریم ما مبارزه میکنیم.
Roger, the reality rooster, wake up. And we will face catastrophe if we do not act swiftly and robustly.
Yeah, the reason we're here is because I feel like we haven't got much longer to be able to save the planet, and obviously it's really important for my children and for my grandchildren, Felix's children, to be able to have a planet.
It's important because it's our future, it's our kids' future, and if we don't do something now, then it's going to have a catastrophic effect. And I don't understand why people aren't joining us, because they're just carrying on with their day-to-day life as if nothing's happening, but it's happening to everyone. If you breathe, you should care.
Nothing to see here, move along! No picture!
No, all right.
No, all right.
Come out.
Well, I'm here because I have a belief that there is something greater than us which tells me that we don't own this earth. So I am just not accepting that we treat it as though it is our just property to do with what the heck we like. And it's doing terrible damage. The current economy is now using 1.7 Earths. And we in the human population have been taught that this is the way of life. It isn't. It's a way of death. And that's because the more we take, the less there is for future generations, for the poorest peoples who are already got next to nothing, and the rest are other than human nature, which is as important as we are.
Basically what we have here is a graph of the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere over the last 400,000 years. So this is carbon dioxide molecules, and this parts per million means how many out of each million molecules of atmosphere is carbon dioxide. So what this is supposed to show is that 400,000 years ago we had these ice age fluctuations, and this was how much carbon dioxide was in the air. So a normal level is somewhere between 180 and 300, and that's what it's been for hundreds of thousands of years. But basically this was all humans in like the Stone Age, and then the Industrial Revolution happened, and we worked out that we could dig up coal and start burning it and having steam engines and things, and that happened about here. So the whole of like human civilization history is pretty much this last little bit here. So this huge spike in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is almost entirely due to human activity. And the point of this graph is that you can clearly see that this is not normal at all. And not only is it not normal, but it happened much, much faster than any of these fluctuations have happened. So essentially, the climate has not yet caught up with what we've done to it. So we expect to see greater warming in the future because of the carbon dioxide that we've already put into the atmosphere. And another thing that this graph is supposed to show is that the difference between here and here represents the difference between not an ice age and in an ice age. So there was the whole world on average was 6 degrees different in temperature between here and here. So you look at this is going to be a considerable change. For reasons of physics, this isn't actually quite 6 degrees, this is more like 2.5 or something. It depends what actually happens and what we keep doing in the future, but it's definitely a very significant change. And it won't just make the world slightly warmer, it'll make it considerably warmer. You will see a huge amount more sea level rise. So lots of cities in the world are coastal. So Miami, for example, like people buying houses in Miami are going to have their houses flooded in 50 years, and they're just like choosing to ignore this fact.
We have gathered here today, and on many other places around London and across the world too. We have gathered today because we have chosen which path we want to take, and now we are waiting for the others to follow our example.
So we are here today to highlight that there are people and businesses trading in ecological destruction in that building behind us.
just to know that we're not going to stop. This disruption is going to continue.
Institutions and corporations just destroy our planet going unnoticed.
With a meeting with the police, whereby the police laid out their stall and said, this is what we want from you, go away and consider it. And their next move is, as you see, they're kettling us, they're bullying us. That does not look like negotiation to me.
This morning. I was. This is why I'm wearing this. Basically, the police arrested us, unglued us, arrested us. We were held at Wembley Police Station for about 5 hours. I was told by the policeman that took my fingerprints that he really supported what we were doing, and I said thank you for saying that, and he said no, it's my democratic right to say that, and I really believe in what you're doing. It's my future too. And we were released after 5 hours with no charge and not even under investigation. haven't finished the protest at all. We're pausing because a lot of people have been doing a lot of different things over the last couple of weeks, and it takes a lot of energy. And a big part of what we're trying to do here is instill a regenerative culture. So if everyone just keeps going indefinitely, everyone gets burnt out, and that's not the way to sustain a movement. So the ceremony we just had was a pausing ceremony, and that's really integral to what we do. Like, take stock, reflect, think about what we've done, where we had gains, where we had weaknesses, where we need to change. You know, so it's a period of reflection, but no, we're not going anywhere.
We were successful. We got into Parliament yesterday with a lobby group, and some MPs came to see us in groups, and they were very supportive. They thanked us very much because it gives them more power, because they see how much support we have in the UK from the general public. It's overwhelming. We've had a lot of money, £1 million donated this week through the website, just from the general public, and it's overwhelmingly successful.
Stop fighting. We will never stop fighting for this planet and for ourselves, our futures, and for the futures of our children and grandchildren. Thank you.